all the guys who, have like really high prices are saying, people are mocking me in the community, and if I see that you're doing it, I'm going to block you. It's like, okay, cool.
Brady.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Brick Bites podcast, or if you're new here, welcome. We're so excited that you are tuning in today. Today we have a fantastic guest, and wow, I'm so excited about him. But before we get to Max, sneak peek at our guest. Well, you probably already know who he is because he's the title of this episode. But anyway, today we have our co-host back again, Maddog. Welcome. Thanks for coming back on.
What's up? Thank you for inviting me back on the podcast. Glad to be here, Lego Brick.
Yeah, it's great to have you, and I asked Maddog to think of a quick fun fact that he wants to tell you guys before we invite our guest on. So, what's your fun fact?
Ever since, winter break and quarantine, I've had a ton of time to dabble in decal designing, and I've got some designs. I got some that are just, plain stupid, like the Chungus Trooper that I made. And then I have some more complex designs I'm planning to reveal in the future. And I don't know.
Chungus, a Chungus Trooper, like Big Chungus?
Yes, the one and only Big Chungus, the video game featuring Dante from Devil May Cry. Well,
I'm excited to see this. This sounds awesome. And
Mm-hmm. I Max was the one who partially inspired me to make it, and it was great to have the king of Big Chungus himself bless the design that I made and give it his approval. Yeah, I bet that would be something that Max is a fan of. And since Max is our guest on the podcast, I think it's time that we introduce him. So he is a Lego seller on Instagram, and he's also a decaler. He started Instagram in February of this year, and he has almost 1.3K followers. So congrats for that big number, Max, and welcome on the podcast.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here with these other peoples.
It's a pleasure to have you on. So the Big Chungus Trooper, you gave it your blessing?
Yep. I back a while ago I made a decal figure, and then I got bored with it, so I decided to paint some rabbit ears on there and paint it up a little bit, and that was the version 1 of the Chungus Trooper, and that's how that started. And then Maddog saw that, and he was like, "Hey, that's pretty cool," and then he made it into an actual decal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you have a lot of interesting. You do like some like AV and JK and different, regular clone troopers, but then you dabble in your own designs too, right?
Yes, I have some very special clones in my collection.
Do you wanna list them off for us real quick, just so we can?
I'm trying to think of them. I got the Barf Trooper, which is just disgusting. I love him. We have a Devilock clone trooper or stormtrooper who's based off of the Misfits, my favoriteest band in the world. And then we also have I don't know what to call him exactly, but he's a clone trooper with the helmet completely shaved off and destroyed, so he just has the fin on his head.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Why? This is so random. Why? What inspires these crazy clones?
I get bored a lot, and school isn't very fun.
It seems a little bit. I'm reminded of in Toy Story, the kid that destroys the different toys.
Yep.
What's his name?
I believe it's Sid.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Max is a Lego version of Sid.
Making these unholy amalgamations that never should be made.
Yep. They're pretty special.
Do you have plans for some more that you want to make?
Yeah, I was thinking about making a Commander Chody.
Oh, tell me about this.
Nice.
Very fun. A little bit of paint there, and then boom.
It's beautiful.
We got it. Yep.
And when can we expect to see this one on your page?
The next time I decal Commander Cody and get bored with it just sitting on my desk.
Okay. All right. So you're obviously a really big clone fan and a big fan of Lego clone troopers in general. What makes clones so special?
Well, for me, it's just the sheer quantity of them, and it's just the epicness of them, and how in the Clone Wars you were given so much freedom to put them in whatever battle you wanted to put them in, and just make your own little mock. And then I sort of left mock building a while ago, and then I moved on to decaling, which is just making your own cool custom clones with decals.
And okay, so with decaling, you say that you're the biggest Jonah K or Jonak simp. Why Jonak?
Well, he has the most realistic, most similar designs to official Lego minifigs, and I have every one of his exclusive decals.
Oh, wow.
I spend an average of $20 to $70 a week at his store on Fridays.
Wow. Okay. So you have really earned this title pretty.
Yep. And nobody wants to touch it.
Fair enough.
I remember Jonak had this contest when his Series 2 random packs came out for the first time ever. Where it was $50 store credit, $150 store credit for a fully completed set, and of course Max dropped I kid you not, almost $200 worth of stuff and got 2 out of 3 of those store credit the first day, and I'm like, Jesus,
yep,
you guys deserved the title of King of Jonak decals.
Wow, that is honestly impressive.
Exclusive I am missing, which
that's crazy.
Special.
So Jonak is more realistic compared to Lego's troopers, but would you say that AV's figures are more realistic compared to the actual clone troopers you see in the movies?
So AV has full 360, which is you get every little bit of detail that you see in the movies, where Jonak is more simplified of that to where they look more like official Lego clones that Lego hasn't made yet, or they're exact copies of Lego clones, which are just cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So, go ahead, Maddog.
Yeah, and the time for decaling a Jonak clone compared to an AV clone is drastically different. I remember, AV clones take hour and 30 minutes, maybe 2 hours max for me, and then I think I've done Jonak decals at 30 minutes maximum. So also you can probably get done 3 Jonak troopers in the time you could get 1 AV trooper done. And if you're going for when Max said, for to conform with what you already have in your Lego collection, and if you're going to display it alongside your other troopers, that's definitely the thing you should pursue.
And then another thing is that Jonak, since he keeps it so simple, it costs a lot less than AV. For the decal sheets alone, it's $1 compared to $2, or a Jonak exclusive is $3 to $5 compared to an AV where it's $10. And then the helmets too, where AV has complex helmet stuff that you have to pay $3 to $5 for the helmet alone, and then another $2 for the decal, and then another $3 for the body, compared to Jonak, where it's just $1 for the body, $1 for the decal, and $1 for the helmet.
I was just gonna add on to what you said about the AV helmets. I think the specialized ones, the ARF troopers cost like $7 for just one cast, and that's not even guaranteeing, you might...
If it's a good cast.
Yeah. Like, I remember you posted on your story, and it was just literally spinning around and rotating, and it didn't even fit at all.
Yeah, so one of them was like, you tipped it to the side a little bit, and it fell right off, and then the other one couldn't even fit on the helmet, on the head. So AV casts can be a bit risky buying them.
Yeah.
Isn't it basically, Isn't it basically like miscast quality at that point? Because I know like miscasts, sometimes you have to use sticky tack for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I have an AV figure cast that's on a figure, and it like doesn't fit on the figure properly. It's kind of annoying. Like, doesn't go all the way down or something, and it's frustrating. But so Max, I introduced you as a Lego seller, but would you consider yourself not as much of a seller and more of a decaler?
Well, yes, I do decal much more frequently than what I do sell, seeing as I mostly sell my personal collection. I don't have a quote-unquote selling collection. So my personal collection, I just sell it whenever I sell it whenever I need money. So right now, I'm trying to build a full Wolfpack battalion from the Clone Wars, which is the base is 661 clones. So I'm currently selling about 80% of my collection, figs-wise, to funding that. So, yeah.
600 for the... Okay, so how far along are you in this process? How many Wolfpack clones do you have so far?
Well, right now I have about, I want to say, a little around 15. So, but it takes me about 10 minutes to do a clone. And then it's about $3 to actually get the materials for it. So it's easy to do them. It's just the sheer quantity that I have to do.
And you said how much, how many figures is in a base for Wolfpack?
So the full battalion of the Wolfpack is 661, but that is not including pilots or gunners or any of that fancy stuff. So that's another company, which is 165, and then I'm adding a couple more on to have more realistic detail to the actual size of the group.
So you said it's about $3 a figures, and just doing some quick calculations, that would be almost $2,000, right? Just for the base, if I'm correct there. So definitely,
I'm not building the base. I'm building the battalion.
Oh, okay. So you just...
I have the numbers on my phone. So right here for the vehicles alone, it's $6,700.
Okay, you have to sell a lot then.
Yep, and
that's a lot for Legos.
That's just ground vehicles, and then air vehicles is $6,620, and then the clones it's about $5,200.
Wow. Okay, so this is quite a project here.
Yep, I gave myself for the vehicles and figures. I gave myself a time of wanting a timeline of 1 to 5 years to finish that.
Yeah, that's insane. And you're only 16 figures in?
Yep.
Well, this is definitely going to be a process. When did you start? When did this goal come around?
I started it in late February, so I'm trying to do 1 to 2 figs per day, but I'm just waiting for more materials to come in so I can do them more frequently.
And why Wolfpack?
Well, they're a smaller battalion, so I'm not gonna. It's just what it seems the most realistic to me to actually complete, where it's not like the 327 Star Corps, which is like 300,000 clones or something like that. So it's just, or it might be 30,000, something crazy like that. So it's just a lot smaller.
I love how you say it. It's just a lot smaller when it's like gonna cost you like, but that's definitely a very admirable goal, and I am excited to see as this collection builds from 16 figures to this like 800 figures, or how many total you're going to have?
600 figures.
600 figures. Okay, and then all the vehicles and everything. That's going to be quite a project.
I'm actually trying to do, like, Max kind of low-key inspired me to, build up 501st and 332nd. So I've been, I bought the Jonak packs for those, and I've been trying to grind them out slowly but steadily.
Nice. How many are you gonna get a full battalion too of those those
Well,
troopers?
I might do 332nd because I just Googled it and it says that approximately has 144.
That's a little bit, yeah.
That's reasonable for me. So I don't know. I got a couple now, like maybe 2 or 3, but I have like 8 or 9. I just pre-cut and I'm looking forward to decaling as soon as I get the chance to.
So Maddog, with that, are you gonna get like Jesse and Hardcase and like Top, and are you gonna do the named clones potentially, or are these just singular 501st troopers?
Yeah, I got the named clones. I already have Rex done, of course. I have Echo, Jesse. Kind of put 5s off for last because I'm not really a big 5s fan. Hot take, nuclear hot take incoming.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's wrong with 5s?
I don't know. I just think he's a little overhyped. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's fair, but he's still a good clone trooper.
Commander Fox is better.
Wow.
I don't know. I just felt like he was always overrated. Yeah.
Interesting. I think he's cool, but I get what you're saying with that there.
Yeah. I just kind of put him off for last. But I kind of just did the ARC troopers first. I really like ARC Jesse's design.
Mm-hmm.
Echo kind of has like a more simpler design, but I think it looks pretty clean too. And then I also ordered the Wolfpack set too, so I'll probably bust into those in a while here.
Yeah, I like the I have a Jesse, ARC Trooper Jesse, and I think it looks really cool. I like the design of the ARC on him. But I wanted to ask, okay, so Max, your kind of like signature figure is that pink trooper. Is it a 501st recolor? It's
a pink 501st recolored clone.
And why is this your figure? Why a pink 501st?
When I started out, I didn't see any, like everyone had like either normal 501st or 327th or like Kashyyyk or Geo clones as like their Legion. So I found a picture of a pink 501st, put the old school like Lego Star Wars game ring around it, and then I put that as my profile since nobody else had that.
It's a pretty sick profile, and now you actually do have that figure, right?
Yes, I have one AV pink 501st and around 60 or 70 Jonak pink 501st.
Holy cow, you have quite the collection. How many clones do you have in total?
Well, for my realistic P1 clones alone, it's around 70 or so. And then I have like one of every other Legion, and that's about it since I've been selling so many of them.
Wow, that's insane. Well, Max, I have to ask you, because 22nd, I don't know if you saw it, we just released a podcast episode today with 22nd, which is probably about 2 weeks ago for anyone listening. And he was on a podcast. Yeah, and he decided to say that because he came on the podcast before you, he is now superior to you. Do you have any response to that?
Well, like the question I asked in that podcast for him, he is not superior to me because he is stinky. He smells of stink. Nothing but pure raw stink. When you look at his profile, you can smell the odors coming from your phone.
I mean, that sounds like a bulletproof argument to me.
Definitely. All right, that's fair. And Lego Fan is going to be on the podcast We're going to record a podcast with him, I think, actually tomorrow. Do you have anything you want to say to him as well?
Monica is just like a really chill dude, but like he needs to chill it with eating babies. Like that guy comes into the group chat and he's just like, I eat a baby today, and that's like, okay, like I do that too, but get another hobby.
Okay, well that quite the eating baby hobby. So you partake in that as well?
Yep, it's pretty fun and delicious sport.
Sounds very exciting. You are quite an interesting character, Max. This is. Do you think that helps to contribute to you gaining so many followers, or do you think that does not help?
It can in certain circumstances, depending on who my audience is at the time.
So, like the last auction, or I guess it was your first auction that you did. Do you want to just, anyone who wasn't at that auction, do you want to tell them a little bit about what you put up and
I had some of my
reception?
I had some of my custom clone troopers that we were talking about earlier. I put those up on the stand, and I was basically just mocking every other auctioneer for having like painted figures or something that goes for a stupidly high price. And I was just mocking every other auctioneer for being just
stinky.
Yeah, stinky, like 22nd. He's so stinky. I can smell him right now, and I'm not even looking at his profile.
Wow, you're just coming back to 22nd. Dang.
Yep, stinky man.
We're going to have to get you... Yeah, we're going to have to get you and 22nd and Lego Fan all on a podcast. I think that would be an interesting podcast to have.
That would be dangerous.
I think it'd be good. I think it'd be an interesting podcast there. So, Max, you've made some mocks in the past. Do you still make mocks, or is that kind of not really your thing anymore?
A little bit here and there, just when I'm bored, but not really anymore, seeing how I'm spending all my money on my Wolfpack. So I don't have the time or money to buy more parts for mini mocks or even big mocks. So I've sort of stopped doing that. And then, but I do plan for when I'm completely done with my Wolfpack to have an actual base sometime in the future when I'm done with all the figs and sets.
So what figures and stuff from your collection are you selling to be able to get this Wolfpack dream of yours?
Mostly the high ticket items. So that would be clones, or I have a large amount of first order stormtroopers, and those are about $2 a piece. So if I'm selling $2 to $3 a piece, so if I'm selling 20 of those, that's $60 to $40 that I just made right there. And that can get me like 10 to 20 clones.
Yeah, I like first order stormtroopers, so you can hit me up sometime. But so that's good. And what clones are you? Because you're obviously not going to sell your Wolfpack clones. Are you going to sell your 501st boys, or what clone troopers are you getting rid of?
So I'm keeping all my 2020 new 501st clones, but I only have 2 Geo clones left in my collection, 2 Kashyyyk clones. I have all the animated commanders, but I have no animated grunts. And then I'm keeping all my realistic P1 clones.
Wow, so you're kind of getting rid of all your other clones, and then it's just going to be Wolfpack, basically.
Yep.
Wow, that's
how you get
cool.
All the ladies.
I'm sure that's the key. So on your profile, it says Fanatics Trainee. What's that?
So Fanatics is another company on Instagram. So they have 15,000 followers, and they sell fully decaled, ready to go, or commissioned decaled clone troopers, whether that be AV or Jonak. So he sent me 10 bodies and clone parts for me to decal, and I send them back to him, and then he posts them on his site. And if he thinks that the clones are good enough quality, he'll keep me there and become a full team member.
Oh, that's really exciting. Do you think what stage of this process are you in? Have you already started working on these clones?
Yeah, I have gotten all the materials for them, so I'm exactly halfway through, and I only have about 5 left to do. So it should be pretty easy to finish it up.
That's exciting. That's really exciting. I also want to ask you a couple more stuff on your profile. We have your brownie recipe, or how you make brownies.
Oh, yeah, I did that.
What? Why? What inspired this? Sharing your cooking tricks.
I was making brownies one day, and I just love making food in general. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna put my recipe up there, and so far nobody else has made them.
Well, you know what? I will make them for you. I'll send you a picture. I'll make the brownies, and then I will send you a picture and let you know what they look like. So you're kind of just you're like Star Wars and decals, but then you just kind of go everywhere. You touch every little zone everywhere.
Yeah, I really do.
And I want to ask you. First before I ask you, Maddog, you should jump in. Do you have something you want to?
I'm pretty sure like Max, along with like a good portion of the inner Lego Instagram community, like what they'll do is they'll post their food on their story, and then they'll ask a sticky bricky to rate it.
Only pizza.
Yeah, pizza. But I've seen other stuff too, like.
So is Sticky Bricky gonna make your brownies, and then we'll see what happens there?
Me and him
Why not?
are pretty good friends. I'll say that at the least. We're pretty good friends with each other.
Nice, and I see on your page you also eat clone troopers as well. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, that one reel I did. That was a clone trooper spelled incorrectly. He's one of my best friends, and I just take him everywhere, and sometimes that everywhere happens to be inside of my mouth. Nice.
That's so fun. Your Among Us droid. What was that inspired by? The red stuff droid.
I saw just like the resemblance between the droid and the like Among Us characters. So I decided I'm gonna paint that, and then I did, and it looked really good.
Yeah, I do think it looks really, really good. So Max, you're definitely a very special character, and as we talked about that might help or hurt your audience demo. But what have you found to be most effective in gaining followers for you?
For me, it's what helps me gain followers the most. It's using the right hashtags on each post, not being shadow banned. What else?
Do you get shadow banned often?
Depends on what I say in people's comment sections. So,
nice.
But that not being shadow banned helps. And then frequently uploading helps and then uploading different stuff. So I do have the same like little stand for each picture, but I always try to have like I don't take the same picture with the same fig twice and then repost it.
Yeah. It's nice because you have the same like background and design for most of your posts. So it's a cool little aesthetic there. But why did you start Instagram in the first place?
Well, this account started out as my personal, and when quarantine happened, I wanted to see what some of my friends were doing, but I started posting more Lego stuff than personal stuff, so I just deleted all the personal stuff and posted more and more Lego stuff. I got more and more Lego followers, so I just sort of stopped with the personal stuff completely and made everything Lego related. So
you don't even have a personal account anymore. This was your personal account. That's interesting. That's kind of funny. So sets. Are you a big set collector, or are you more to the figs?
I like sets, but just the way that Lego does them, where they're not minifig like scale accuracy, I don't really use them so much. So I have my friend Sir Brickington. I have a bunch of, for vehicles, I have his ATRTs. I buy sets here, but the last set I bought was the 501st Battle Pack, and that was in like September or something. So I don't buy too many sets.
Yeah, and even like the 501st Battle Pack, the ATRT is still very disproportionate to the clone troopers. I've seen like, alternate builds where they make out of it a proportionate ATRT, and you also can make a command post out of the pieces left over, which I think is a much better build option to the one that Lego actually gave us.
Yeah, or the ATTEs. The most accurate ATTE in length we had was the 2002 one, which was pretty long, but not detailed at all. So it was just long. But the 2013 one was short with a lot of detail. But I want to get one of Dave's Customs ATTEs, which is perfect minifig scale with the perfect details. Everything is just completely accurate to what it should be.
But sometimes I think it's hard for really big ships or vehicles to try to get it minifigure style or minifigure scale and still a decent price point that people would buy.
Yeah. So one of the vehicles I'm going to be doing for my Wolfpack is the turbo tank. So that alone is going to cost about $2,000 for a minifig scale one, which I have found, but it's a lot of money.
Where have you found it?
On Instagram. I can send it to you right now.
I'm just curious.
Minifig scale.
That's so cool. That's super, super cool. Yeah, because you're right. What sets would you consider in the Lego Star Wars realm to be perfect minifigure scale?
That would be the 2013 Republic gunship if you mod the floors so there's not that little plain tiling sort of plate there. So it's just studs, and if you do that, that makes the ship hold exactly 30 figs in the bay, which is how many troopers it holds in the show.
Gotcha. Is there any other set that you would consider perfect?
Not really.
Okay.
The set is meant for a little kid who has trouble building intricate stuff. So with
although they have
perfect scale, it's trouble.
Yeah, that's true. But they have expanded. They're working on their adult. They have adult sections and 18
and
plus
another
boxes.
Set that I would say is perfect scale is the X-Wing from a couple years ago, and the TIE Fighter as well.
Oh yeah, those are cool. They're a lot better sets than the X-Wing and TIE Fighter that we're going to get this year.
Yeah.
Are those
the ones we're getting out in are little chibi scale?
Yeah, they are. Are those out in stores yet, or when are they? Do you guys know when they're coming out?
I think they might be in Kohl's. I'm not 100%. I know the Mandalorian set is out in Kohl's right now. So.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mandalorian. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually was going to mention the Mandalorian set. I think it's funny because when the Razor Crest set first came out, everyone thought that Baby Yoda was going to be exclusive to that set and that set only. And people were selling Baby Yoda for $20, $30. And now it's there's a set where you can obtain him for that price. And I just feel like it's kind of funny to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think they'd make it exclusive, but they definitely kind of milked it there, and then people on the market have Baby Yoda's quite expensive if you don't want to buy the Razor Crest. Except now you can get it in that nice set. And
the Razor Crest isn't even minifigure scale, so you're just buying the figs and then a scaled down version of the ship.
I was actually debating between getting the Slave One and the Razor Crest, and after the Razor Crest got, spoiler in case if anyone somehow hasn't seen it.
Boomed. Yeah,
boom. And I'm like, hey, what do I want? Do I want a pile of ash or do I want the Slave One? So I'm giving up my money right now to get the Slave One.
Do you guys think they will come out with a Mandalorian version of Slave One? Because I believe the Slave One is retiring this year.
Maybe, but they had the 20th anniversary one a couple years ago, and you can still find that on a couple Target shelves. So they might not.
Yeah, but the 20th anniversary one, that's the one I was talking about. It's going to retire this year, and I know it's been selling out all over the place. So I was wondering, maybe either Lego, I was thinking it's because it's been selling out, maybe Lego would either, not retire it quite so soon or still retire it and then come out with a Mandalorian version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other sets from The Mandalorian would you guys like to see happen?
Ooh, maybe Ooh, that little pillar circle that they had with Baby Yoda.
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
I'd love to see some Lego Dark Troopers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Something the light scale cruiser that they had that Moff Gideon is on, have that same size as the ISD, and then put some Dark Troopers in that set. That would be really nice. That would
be really, really good.
Yeah, that would be cool to have. And I think it would also be cool to have Moff Gideon's TIE Fighter, although that was season 1, but that still would be a cool set. I'm surprised they haven't done it yet, but we're kind of in season 2 now, so maybe they won't do it, but that would have been a cool set. But I would like to see the Darksaber. I really wanted to see the Darksaber in a set.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
With the detailed print and stuff.
Yeah, and Moff Gideon. I want Moff Gideon as well. And Bo-Katan as well. We got to get those figures.
Well, for the summer wave of 2021, anything is possible. And with the Bad Batch show coming out in spring of 2021, we might finally get minifigures for those.
The Bad Batch, I'm ecstatic for the sets that are possible with that, Bad Batch minifigs. If they come out with that in the ship they had in the Clone Wars, that's gonna sell like crazy. And then we could have more grunt clones in a battle pack, which would be nice since we haven't had just normal grunts in a battle pack or even any set since 2014.
Yeah, maybe the new Shadow Troopers, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The dudes with the flame cannons.
Yeah, maybe 3 normal troopers, and then there's one that kind of looks like a Death Trooper, like a prototype of a Death Trooper. So it can be 3 of the normal looking guys and then 1 Death Trooper. I think that would be a really solid pack to build a little army with.
Yeah. And they're also going to be coming out, I believe, with the collectible minifigure series for Star Wars. Is that correct?
Heard anything about that?
Maybe it's just more of a rumor.
Studs talk about that.
Yeah, that was just not didn't look like an actual leak to me. All he did.
Oh yeah, that leaked image. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have heard some talk about that it was confirmed that we're gonna get a collectible minifigure series for Star Wars in the future, but I don't know when we're talking, and maybe that's not an actual confirmation, but that would certainly be cool.
Yeah, the reason that it actually happens is because Hasbro had for the longest time the Star Wars license to make action figures, and those quick history lesson, those little action figures, that's why they couldn't make even magnets with the characters, because Hasbro basically said, hey, we have the contract for that. And I think recently Hasbro relinquished that and gave Lego permission to sell individual figures and figure packs again. So that's how they're doing it. I mean, I think when everyone says that, it's coming out, they still have to be in the designing phase phases of it, so it could be, as late until 2022 until we see something like that.
And by that point, we'll have so many new figures from all these new series that are going to be coming out, which I'm so excited for. And I can't wait for the sets that Lego are going to make.
One of the things I'm worried about with the new series is that they're going to run out of, just time, and, some of those, shows won't come out until, 2022 or, 2023. Or they won't be able to finish a second season or something like that.
Yeah, but I think they'll overall. I think they're going to probably do a pretty good job, and I think it's going to be, when you see all of them drop at one point, it seems like how are those all going to come out? But I think it's going to be really over the next 5 years, maybe more, 5-10 years. So it's going to be very spread out, and I think it's not going to feel too overwhelming. Too many series at once.
I trust Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. They know what they were doing. Dave Filoni
those two are both sexy.
Yeah, those are
good schniz.
You heard it from Max himself, guys. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are very, very sexy.
Heard it from the man himself.
Yeah, I just feel so relieved that they actually have a plan for Star Wars now. I felt like, for so long, for the last 5 years of the sequel trilogy, that Disney's just been kind of running around like a headless chicken, not really knowing what to do. So it's finally relieving to see that there's, some direction and some, pathway of what they want to do. And The Mandalorian season 2, not only put to rest a lot of the plot threads that had developed, how's Boba Fett gonna play in? What's Baby Yoda like in his origin? Will Luke actually come? And now that we're getting the Boba Fett show, the Ahsoka show, Rangers of the New Republic, and it was reported that they're in production for a Luke Skywalker show right now currently. So
really?
That will be fantastic.
Yeah.
If we would be able to see inside of the temple, that would be great. His Jedi temple where he trains Kylo or whatever.
Oh yeah, a little bit more about what happens between episode 6 and then episode 7, or episode 8, I guess, is when we first really see Luke. Yeah, I think I think they did a good job with the sequels, but then I think they weren't really sure. I think they came out with the sequels too often, because they came out with it was every single Christmas there was a new Star Wars movie, because there was Solo and Rogue One, 2, and stuff. And I think it was a little overwhelming to have Star Wars movies not have happened for so long, and then every single year happening. So I think that the hype kind of died down because they were so often. But then I think kind of with Disney Plus, they're realizing that shows are cool. And as much as I like shows, I would like some more big screen movies as well. But I think the shows are fun too.
Yeah, I honestly think that the sequels, kind of clutter with everything right now, and they just kind of need to be done away with. You know what I mean? Because I understand why people say that there's redeeming qualities in the sequels. But things such as, the overarching story and the themes, I feel aren't even as, strong as something like the prequels. And despite everything that Lucas and all the bullying he got for the prequels, he still followed through, and the story is, still consistent, and you see the themes from one movie progress to the next. The problem with the sequels, I feel is it was just hot potato between Abrams and Rian Johnson. And despite, how you feel about the movies, it's they completely contradict each other. The themes and the ideas present in Last Jedi are completely contradictory to, what Force Awakens stood for, and basically.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they had whatever his name, the J.J. Abrams was gonna do 7, 8, 9 or something, or he had written the script for all of them, and they were all going to tie together perfectly, and they were all going to be more similar to episode 7 than they were.
Yeah, I think if there had been a similar, one person, or, how kind of all these series that are happening is Dave Filoni and John kind of doing all these series with the Clone Wars and Mandalorian and everything. And so having them all tie together is really nice. And I think I love the sequels, and I think they're amazing. I think they're really good movies. I think they're really well done. But I do agree they don't tie into each other as well. And I think that is, I don't think it has to do with like Kathleen Kennedy or anything like that. I just think it has to do with the switching of directors and kind of losing that touch there. And so I think they don't tie in together as well. But also, and maybe they'll work on this more, it's just the sequels are a little bit more standalone than I would say that like the prequels and the originals are. And what keeps the prequels from dying and falling into fire is that they do have all the Clone Wars, and now Ahsoka and all these different things are coming that are in the same time era as the prequels and also the original trilogy a little bit. And then, so it's like there's so much stuff packed in, and then the sequels don't have anything else to go with them.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. The sequels feel kind of unappetizing to me because they kind of, I actually saw some very interesting stuff. The sequels tie into the original trilogy, but the sequels have little to offer for prequel fans. You know what I mean? And people who appreciate the prequels, like there's
if they had they say that every First Order stormtrooper came from, like they were stolen as babies or something. That seems like it would have taken a lot of work to start up the organization. If they had like tied it into the Kaminoans, like having leftover clones or something, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, but I don't think I think the prequel base is not as widespread as the original trilogy base. I think there's still a lot of the prequels. Like I said, I think the only thing really redeeming the prequels is Episode 3, and then having all these shows and everything, and kind of this overarching storyline that the prequels fit into.
Yeah, I will admit, though, nuclear hot take incoming, but Phantom Menace isn't really bad. I can see why people say it's boring, you know what I mean? Like with the whole politics and everything. And I recently rewatched it, and I found myself enjoying it up until, Jar Jar came on the screen. Any single scene he was in, I just physically cringed. But, like, any of the scenes that I thought were bad were so bad that they're good, you know what I mean? That's the thing about, like, the prequels, I feel like. Even when they're at their worst, you can still enjoy them. You know what I mean?
I'm watching Episode 1 tonight, and and every scene, like for me at least, with Jar Jar were some of my favorites because he took a break from all the like politics they had, and he just lightened everything up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I don't really enjoy the first movie. I'm trying to watch it. It's taken me 3 sittings so far, and I'm not quite done with it. I'm trying to watch them all in order again. But yeah, I don't know. I think for me, the cutter is the acting. I don't think the actors are the best, and I don't think the plot overall is quite as interesting. It's kind of long and drawn out. It's like a 3-hour movie or something, right? So that's kind of where it lost me. Is it's long and it's not super entertaining, and the actors don't make it any better either, I guess. But I guess yeah.
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 And just, I don't know. I just kind of, some components of the sequels destroyed everything. It destroyed key concepts of, the prequels. Like Rise of Skywalker just dismantled a lot of what was already established. Like with Rey Force healing, that literally kind of broke everything. You know what I mean? If Force healing was a thing, why didn't
Luke do that to Vader so that Vader could live the rest of his life?
Well, I think
Palpatine there and then.
I think Vader was in a different state. Rey was just doing like something small, and we saw in the Mandalorian Baby Yoda also healed. So I think from what I've seen, it feels like Force healing is something that you have to be very, very strong in the Force with to do, and I don't think you can like heal a person entirely. It's small wounds that you can kind of transfer your energy to, and it depends on if you have. That's kind of what I was seeing. Is it's like you have to have enough energy to transfer, because they're taking your energy to heal. It's at least kind of what I understood.
But, at the end of the movie, though, Kylo Ren is able to heal Rey back from the dead, basically, with that. So, I don't know.
But then,
it kind of destroys, Yeah?
Well, but then he died, so he, gave all of his energy. But I see what you're getting at. Yeah.
It just kind of doesn't make sense. Why didn't Obi-Wan use it on Qui-Gon while he was dying? Because, that was a lightsaber stab wound. He could have probably easily healed that. Why didn't Anakin? It just breaks a lot of what already was established. And I'm not blaming Abrams for this because, his vision kind of got destroyed by what Ryan had. That's what's going to happen if you put another director in to use what you already have established with. So I just think that inconsistency riddles the prequel, and it's finally nice to see The Mandalorian do that. And I would really like it if they started, with a clean slate and we could get this, beautifully consistent prequel or sequel trilogy, actually, now that Disney knows and they're confident in what they're doing now.
It would be, I hope that we can get some more maybe shows or something more in the sequel era, because I think it would help to tie the plot together as well. I think there's a lot of gaps in there. It just helped to make an overall story.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask something to Max. Max, if they could make one set on a clone vehicle that they haven't yet, Max, what would you want it to be and why?
If they haven't?
Yeah.
Are you talking about
they
haven't, or nothing minifig scale yet? Because if we're talking nothing minifig scale, I would love to see a UCS ATTE or something. But a set that they haven't made is Lightning Squadron from the Clone Wars with Mace Windu and that stuff. I would love to see an ATTE with the back being able to drop out and carry 2 ATRTs. That would be a fantastic set.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, and I think I don't have too much more to say. Is there anything you kind of want to finish off the podcast with? This has been fantastic, Max, and this has been...
I'm just what's up? Thanks for having me on. This is pretty cool to talk with other people. So, yeah.
It's great having you on. Thank you so much. And
you're welcome.
we usually finish out with a couple shout outs, just trying to spread some positivity. So today I can start off, and I would like to shout out Fortify Bricks, because he made me this awesome profile picture, and it's super, super sick, and I'm in love with it. So thank you so much, Fortify. Max, do you have anyone in particular you would like to give a shout out to?
I want to thank all my friends in the Army, in the Lego community. So that's E-Gentry Legos, your friendly 68 Whiskey, Black Rhino, and CC Customs on Instagram. All of them are pretty chill people to talk to.
Nice. And Maddog, you got someone as well?
Yeah. So shout out of this podcast is going to be the one and only Thicky Bricky, aka Jonak Jr.
Yes.
Yeah, Thicky. I mentioned earlier that I've been designing some stuff, and he's helped me, and he's going to help me pump out some of my designs actually into decals. So big ups to him. You guys should go check him out on Instagram if you get a moment.
Sick. Yeah, I saw he had some really good claims going. I think we had was it General Hux for $2,000 you could claim?
Oh yes, the AP printed General Hux, $2,000 AP printed.
Oh,
Anakin.
He had that amazing R2D2. That was fantastic.
Dude, the quality on that is fantastic.
Absolute steal. AV, best prints ever. Super low prices. Always buy from them. Best decalers, best prints. Nothing can beat AV. I love AV so much. AV is my favoriteest company on earth.
I sold my left kidney to buy all of AV's prints, and it was worth it.
I sold my family. Wait, what?
I mean, AV is pretty good, but I thought that was really funny when I saw that on Thank You Ricky's story.
It's just so funny because all the guys who, have like really high prices are saying, people are mocking me in the community, and if I see that you're doing it, I'm going to block you. It's like, okay, cool.
Brady.
And then Max goes out and has his full-on auction there. That was hilarious.
My auction had the best steals with amazing 1 out of 1. You buy from me with some of my custom prints and decals. They're the best deals you'll ever see. Low prices for the rich people, high prices for the poor people. You can't beat them. And then if you have Max Prime, you save like a minimum of like 2 cents, a maximum of like 17 cents. That saves you so much money on everything you buy from me. So maybe consider it.
Yeah, I popped into your auction and I thought it was Republic Bricks auction for a second there, but
yeah,
it wasn't. What a shocker. Wow, guys, this has been a fantastic episode. Max has been a fantastic guest. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. We got to set up this episode with 22nd Max and Lego Fan here. This has got to happen.
You're going to need multiple co-hosts for that.
Well, make sure you guys subscribe so that you don't miss any future episodes, especially that episode, because I definitely can let you know in advance that it will be quite an episode if we get all 3 of them on at the same time. But with that being said, if you can rate us 5 stars wherever you're listening to the podcast, you should please do that because it helps us reach more people. And yeah, that's pretty much all we've got for you today. Thank you so much, and we will see you next Monday with a fresh episode.